Hi everyone, hope you all are doing well. Welcome to Diplomat's Desk. I am your host Meet Shah. We have a big story today. Indian exports to the United States have crashed by more than 37% in just 5 months. The reason massive new Trump era tariffs going all the way up to 50% on Indian goods. This isn't just another headline, it's a major jolt for the Indian manufacturing, jobs, and our export driven sectors. Let's break it down. So, since May 2025, Indian shipments to the United States have been sliding fast. According to the Global Trade Research Initiative, exports fell from about $8.8 billion in May to just $5.5 billion in September. That's one of the sharpest short term collapses in years. The decline started soon after President Donald Trump ramped up tariffs, starting at 10% in April, then 25% in August, and finally 50% by late August. And it's being called a punishment for India's continued purchase of Russian oil. The biggest blow has come to sectors that earlier enjoyed zero or low duties. Their exports dropped nearly 47%. Let's start with the smartphones. India had become a major assembly hub with exports to the US surging last year. But this year, the value fell from about $2.3 billion in May to under 900 million in September. That's a 58% collapse in 5 months. Then comes pharmaceutical, one of the India's most resilient sectors. Even they were hit down nearly 16%. And for labor-intensive industries like gems, jewelry, textiles, and solar panels, the story is even worse. Jewelry exports alone plunged almost 60%, forcing several units in Surat and Mumbai to scale back. Solar panel exports shrank more than 60%. So why did this happen? The US justifies the move as a reciprocal measure, claiming India has trade surplus and unfair barriers for American goods. But this time the tariffs were also tied to the India's decision to keep buying cheap Russian oil. For India, this feels more like economical pressure than a policy. And because India now faces higher duties than countries like Vietnam or China, it has lost some of its price competitiveness in the US market. The impact is clear. Factories are slowing production, new orders are being rerouted elsewhere, and the momentum that was building around making India for the world is taking a pause. This isn't just about numbers, it's about livelihoods. Thousands of jobs in small and medium export units depends on the US market. When sales drop by a third or more, wages and employment takes a direct hit. There's also a strategic angle to this. India and the US have been deepening defense and technological ties. But trade frictions like this can strain the partnership. At the same time, countries like Vietnam and Thailand are quietly benefiting, capturing orders that India is losing. Meanwhile, in metals and auto parts, where tariffs are uniform worldwide, the decline is less severe, suggesting that the main damage is policy driven, not a loss of competitiveness. So what comes next? Trade experts says that India will have to move fast on free trade talks with other regions like Europe, Latin America, Africa to offset the US shock. Exporters may also need to diversify their markets, cut reliance on the US, and push into premium segments that justifies higher prices. On the policy front, India could offer temporary support to MSMEs and revise export incentive to keep factories afloat. Because if the tariff stays high for long, some of this business may not survive there. So to sum it up, a 37% crash in 5 months is a wake-up call. It shows how quickly geopolitics can upend the global business. What do you think? Should India fight hard to restore the US market access, or should we pivot to the new regions altogether? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit if you like this video and found this helpful, and subscribe for more global trade breakdowns right here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.